Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. That means the digital diva is in the house. Terry Johnson online from New York City. She's here to bring us the latest and greatest insights on social media and digital marketing. So sit back, get a pen and paper, take some good notes, and then do what you learned today. Go take some action. So without further ado, we want to say welcome to everybody watching live and on the replay. And here's TJ. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of Marketing Talk, Marketing Strategy, where we talk about all the things you need to know and tips and tools and strategy, anything you need to know to put in play for your marketing strategy, because we all want to grow our businesses online, right? So last week we were talking about the trends for 2025, and I had a whole list, and I said, well, there's no way we could go through them in all one session. So this is part two, and this one is about AI personalization, AI marketing, or actually AI powered marketing. That's what that one of the trends was, and my lovely assistant gave me, and we're going to go over them now. Excuse me. Because we're talking about AI powered marketing, there was some breaking news that came. I found out about it yesterday. It's something that happened maybe over the weekend. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention. So I have some stories and I want to bring it up. But first, before we do that, has anybody heard about DeepSeek?
I just heard about that. Was it this morning or yesterday?
It was all over the news this morning. I heard something about it over the weekend. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it, blah, blah, blah. And then it exploded yesterday. Something happened with the stock market. I was like, let me investigate. Now, this is the beginning of what we're going to discover. I'm still reading up on it, but I have a couple of articles I want to bring up because this ties into the AI powered marketing. So let's take a look at what DeepSeek is. So we have a Reuters story. Let me bring that up. And they have, let me make sure. Oh, I got so many tabs. Are we there? Yeah. Okay. So, excuse me. What is DeepSeek and why is it disrupting the AI sector? Now, let me refresh because there's the video here. I've already played it. And it was very, it gave me the bare bones of what this is. So let me refresh it so we can get this video. And
has roiled global stock.
Let me get back. Can you hear that?
Chinese startup DeepSeek has roiled global stock markets with the launch of its latest artificial intelligence models. The company says they are on par with or better than industry-leading models in the US at a fraction of the cost, which has led to steep declines for AI chipmaker NVIDIA's shares and others. Here's what we know about the company and its product development. Since the release of OpenAI's ChatGPT in late 2022, Chinese tech firms have been scrambling to create their own chatbots powered by artificial intelligence. DeepSeek says two of its models have been showered with praise by Silicon Valley executives and US tech company engineers and are on par with OpenAI and Meta's most advanced models. It also says that one of them is 20 to 50 times cheaper to use than an OpenAI model, depending on the task. One technology CEO told CNBC he thinks DeepSeek is using NVIDIA chips which are banned from being sold to Chinese companies. DeepSeek did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the allegation. The company is a Hangzhou-based startup whose controlling shareholder is Liang Wenfeng, co-founder of quantitative hedge fund High Flyer, based on Chinese corporate records. It is unclear how much High Flyer has invested in DeepSeek. The two companies have offices in the same building, and High Flyer owns patents related to chip clusters used to train AI models, according to Chinese corporate records. DeepSeek's success has already been noticed in China's top political circles. Last week, on the day DeepSeek released a new product to the public, company founder Liang attended a closed-door symposium hosted by Chinese Premier Li Qiang, according to state news agency Xinhua. Liang's presence at the gathering is potentially a sign that DeepSeek's success could be important to Beijing's policy goal of overcoming Washington's export controls and achieving self-sufficiency in strategic industries like AI.
Okay, so I know that was a lot, and it is a lot. Let me scroll down and read a little bit. So how I found about this is because DeepSeek is #1 in the app stores. I didn't check. This is what was reported. And also because of the stir of this, and I'm going to show you real quick. I just did a Google search, and let me see. Here's the top stories. Let me make sure. Can you see that? Yeah. So the top stories, it's all over the place. China's DeepSeek outsmarted America. That man says China DeepSeek AI should be a wake-up call. DeepSeek chaos suggests America first may not always win. And then there's one from the New York Times. Forbes is saying, warning, DeepSeek is a Chinese security nightmare come true. That guy in the White House says he's sending a message with DeepSeek, and there's a whole story about that. How Chinese AI startup DeepSeek make a model that rivals OpenAI. Then they got tons of YouTube videos. There's a Wikipedia already. Why Silicon Valley is blown away by Chinese app DeepSeek, and then there's more videos and more stories. And so I'm really getting into it. So let me close this and let's get back to this. Now, what is DeepSeek? It is a Chinese version of ChatGPT. From what I see, it is free and it runs faster than ChatGPT. There was some other stuff about, let me scan the article because so it was in the video. I'm going to put the link because I know it was a lot. So let me put the link over in the chat first. So anybody wants to read that, go ahead. But I'm going to skim it because again, I'm just getting into. I'm like, what the heck is DeepSeek? Because some people in my Discord over the weekend was like, "Oh, you're going to use DeepSeek?" Da, da, da. I'm like, what is that? So I'm chilling. I'm like, I'll look at that. I'll look at that on Monday. I didn't look at it yesterday, and then I woke up and I get the little, the little news snippets, and they were talking about DeepSeek. I was like, let me look at this thing. So I looked at it today, and what it is, it's the first Chinese ChatGPT equivalent made by search engine giant Baidu, Baidu, Chinese-owned company, and it something about this model. I think it's on version 3 or something. Something about this model. It says the DeepSeek -R1 released last week is 20 to 50 times cheaper to use than OpenAI O1 model, depending on the task. And from what I'm seeing, that you can download it onto your computer. So again, this is ringing alarm bells for me because one is the Chinese owned app. I think I went to the app store. Let me check. I went to the app store, and again, it's one of those apps that everything's in like the company's name is Chinese. Let me go over there. I'm not going to download it. And it's Deep DEEP. It should be. Let me see if it's on the charts. Number 1 on the charts. Yeah, top free apps. Number 1, DeepSeek AI assistant. Excuse me, intelligent AI assistant. Now, right under where it says DeepSeek, and it's a picture. Their logo is a picture of a purple whale. When it comes up, it's in Chinese characters, Mandarin or whatever language. And then my phone, Apple changes it to English. It just changed it for me. It's number 1 in the app. The developer, again, Mandarin, Chinese, Canton. I'm not sure the language of the specific region, but it's in Chinese. And there's some screenshots. Those are in English. Okay, and where it says developer, I'm like, this is giving me pause, just like Red Note gave me pause. And so, of course, being in the App Store, they have to tell you the privacy practices may include handling of data like contact info, user content, usage data, identifiers, and diagnostics. Now, I want to know what an identifier is, but again, I'm not going to download this. Everybody else is in a frenzy. Ooh, it's faster, it's better, it's cheaper, da 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 da. And they don't even care about terms of the things that we talk about, terms of service, this being a Chinese owned app. They say that they're not collecting your data. If you believe that, then go right ahead. So so when I go below, information the seller is Hangzhou DeepSeek Artificial Intelligence Code .ltd. Okay, so that's what I have from this. Also, there's a little tidbit. This came out on CNBC because this kind of affected Wall Street trading yesterday because it's connected to Nvidia. And they're saying that this DeepSeek was using Nvidia chips and they're not supposed to, because these chips are not supposed to be sold to the Chinese. So NBC reached out to DeepSeek. DeepSeek says nothing. So this is like the bare bones of what we have for this new app. What do we think so far? I know this is new. We're springing it on you. Just basic stuff.
Okay. Just going from the basics, we just had this whole powwow with TikTok. And TikTok spying and doing stuff. And now we have a Chat GPT alternative.
And it's open source.
It's open source, which is also an issue. And with Chat GPT, we know who holds the reins on that.
Yes.
Over here, we don't know. I know we know it's a Chinese-owned company, but we don't know what is up. And okay, so you guys make a AI, cool, but I don't have to have it.
Right. But see, here's the deal. Everybody is running to this thing like the next coming of whatever, just like they did for TikTok, just like they did with Red Note, not paying attention nor caring that this is an app owned by a company that you cannot control at all. And realize that this gets lost in the sauce of this, all of this stuff.
Because nobody is reading the details of the privacy, what information we collect. Hold on. Say what? We collect your information in 3 ways. Information you provide, automatically collected information, and information from other sources.
See, here's the deal. This goes in with the Meta controversy. This goes in with the TikTok controversy. The other side always goes, what about? Well, what about Meta? Well, what about Facebook? What about Google? All of those companies are American owned. Here's one thing about Chinese owned companies. They must share everything with their government. Everything. Even though they say they don't. They have to. That's how they work. It's not a democracy over there. Okay? So if so-and-so calls up, the minister or whatever calls up, hangs out, whatever the name of this company is, and well, we need blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, when they do that over here to Meta, Meta goes, where's your warrant? Where's your this? Where's your that? We ain't going to do that. Then they get hauled before Congress all the time. How many times Mark Zuckerberg has been called before Congress?
Lots.
I've lost count. Now, that doesn't make it better. I'm just saying that that's a level of not even security, but a level of how we do things over here that we want. Now, If something happens and you download this open source model on your computer, you don't have to be connected to them. Download this code. Code? Do you know what can be put in a code that you don't know anything about? This is why I always talk about the reverse code engineers that say,
Mhm.
hey, we looked at the code in Instagram and Instagram is testing this, but Instagram says mom or Meta or Facebook or name your app. These guys, reverse engineers, can go in and see what they're doing. They won't be able to do that with this DeepSeek. Now, I'm bringing this up because this is it's like a fast burning. I hate to say this fire. It's gathering steam and storm because it is disrupting ChatGPT. We're going to stick it to ChatGPT. We don't, whatever. I'm like, okay, good. But realize that we're in the middle of a disinformation, propaganda, confuse people online. We're in the middle of it. You can see that with the news. You can see that with the election. You can see that with a lot of things that are going on. And I'm just saying, be aware. Now, personally, as soon as I heard of this DeepSeek, I was like, if it was anybody else, I might download it, but it's a Chinese app. So I was like, nope.
It is too close. It is too close to
It's
TikTok.
not something I want on my computer.
It is too close to the TikTok situation where TikTok was banned and actually still is, because you can't get it in the App Store.
You still can't get it. If you didn't have it before the ban, you can't get it. But if you had it before, it still works.
Correct. So
oh, Mark has a hey, good morning, Mark. Mark has a comment. Thank you.
The differences between the relationships in tech/government here and there may not be so different in the near future.
I agree with that. And you can see by all of the things that have happened in a week.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But for the moment, this boat is still piloted by a US
pirate.
entity.
Okay, shut up. Pirates.
Piloted. The captain, not that guy. I'm saying like Zuckerberg and these guys. Not saying they're good people.
No, but at least we know them, that enemy, a little better than this.
We have what is monopoly laws. We have business laws. We have, even though some of these laws are being challenged, we have them. With that DeepSeek and the other red note, there is no line. So what I'm saying is you're going to put this on your computer where you do personal stuff, where you do financial stuff.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this.
Great, read it.
I'm going through the terms of service. This is long terms of service, by the way. So where we store your information. The personal information we collect from you may be stored on a server located outside of the country where you live. We store the information we collect in secure servers located in the People's Republic of China.
See, Fran found that in like a matter of minutes.
Where we transfer any personal information out of the country where you live, including for one or more of the purposes as set out in this policy. We will do so in accordance with the requirements of applicable data protection laws. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's data protection laws? Not ours.
Not ours.
So let me tell you something about code. A lot of people don't realize with code. And why I'm talking about code is bits, bytes are bytes, ones and zeros. Everything that we have that's electronic, your phone, your computer, it's all ones and zeros. Mm-hmm. Written on top of code that's written on top of to manipulate those ones and zeros. And since we've had the internet, this process has gotten faster and faster. Now, when you look at your phone and you look at your computer, you're looking at what we call a GUI, GUI, graphic user interface, that makes it usable and workable for us. All of that stuff has to be written in code by a person who's a coder, who's an engineer, who's a whatever. There are so many things that could be written in the code back door that you don't know about. That's how you get malware and viruses on your computer. There's somebody that writes that, the hackers. They write that in there, and you get little pop-ups, or you say, hey, download this app for free. Download this game and play for free.
It ain't free.
Yeah. That's how it happens. Now, I might download this thing in a sandbox. Might, because I have no interest. Me personally, I have no interest in. I do have a little like investigatory part of me that wants to let me peek under the hood. So I would have to put it in my sandbox. A sandbox is an area on my hard drive that is separate from my operating system, that is isolated. Have you ever seen those cop movies or the spy movies, and they put this person in a safe box? They're in a box inside of a warehouse, and the box is protected, and they're like the things can't get into it. Nothing can get into it unless you have the key. That's a sandbox on your computer. I might do that. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I just don't have the enthusiasm for it like everybody else in the world. Like, they just stampede. It feels like to me, remember the Black Friday sales years ago when you had to go to the store and you had to wait outside 3 a.m. for the door to open at 5, and it was like 1 million people to get the 99-cent TV or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What happened when they opened the doors?
People got trampled.
People have unfortunately lost their lives, employees and other people, because the mad dash, the mad rush to get this thing that is cheap.
And see, that's the thing right there. So when you tell me cheap, I'm thinking stuff that, okay, most of the time when we get cheap stuff from,
is it valuable? Is it worth it?
When you get cheap stuff from China, it normally does not hold up.
Doesn't last.
The cheap version of whatever, even if you bought it on Amazon, Temu, whoever, you're taking a chance when you're buying, oh, this is only this amount of money. Okay, but is it going to last me past Tuesday? I don't know.
Here's another thing to think about. How much does it cost? It's free, right? I think it's free.
It's free for now.
But what price do we pay? The price is free, but the cost is, what do we pay?
You're giving up
your data.
Okay, because we talked about, people are crying about, it's not privacy, my privacy. Get over there if you want to. You thought you were giving up privacy with a Gmail account or with some Hotmail account or something. You see how much privacy you're giving up with that. Because they said cookies and other things that they put out. I was like, really? Most of the policy is not this long where I'm scrolling.
Exactly. So I'm really, while you're talking, I had pulled up a Wired article, how Chinese AI startup DeepSeek made a model that rivals OpenAI. And then at the bottom, they said that DeepSeek's willingness to share this innovation with the public has earned it considerable goodwill within the global AI research community. For many Chinese AI companies, developing open source models is the only way to catch up with their Western counterparts, because remember 2022 Chat GPT came out and it really was no rival. Now there's all kind of models and bots and things. So China wanted to play catch up, because that's what we've been doing for, I don't know how long this has been going, 1950s, 40s, 30s. I'm not sure the history of it, but there's always been a back and forth of superpowers wanting to be in control. Okay. So they say this is the only way to play catch up with the Western counterparts, because it attracts more users and contributors, which in turn helps the model grow. So this you have to think about the desires, needs, and wants of why they would give us a free tool.
It's like Temu, it wanted to be the rival to Amazon. I'm just gonna go there. Amazon has staked their play, and Amazon is doing really well. here comes Timu. Oh, you can get that same $50 item for $5. I'm like, I don't trust it.
Right.
I'm like, no. And and then Timu, which is also a Chinese owned company, there
Which
are
I
things
don't have.
I'm like, I'm not putting that on my phone.
The only one I have on my phone is Woot, and I'm thinking I'm gonna get rid of that because I haven't bought anything. So, but it's not China. It's at well, Woot is Amazon, so I'm good. Okay, I forgot. Woot is Amazon. So,
So
not to
so
say that they're the greatest, but it's an American company. So,
okay, so here's my thought. In business, everybody is not your customer. So if people who are using Chat GPT are mostly in the Americas or what have
mhm,
you, okay,
mhm.
that's our market.
Yes,
In China, go ahead and use DeepSeek. Oh, I don't need to use DeepSeek. I'm perfectly okay with this because we have Perplexity. We've got different.
yeah, we got different ones. Yeah, Gemini,
We
Copilot.
got Meta.
We got different ones.
Okay, so why do I need to run to that one?
I
Just
don't
because it's
understand.
cheaper. It's cheaper for
And
them.
fast, they're saying it's faster than.
Okay, but how much faster? Okay, because when you put something in ChatGPT, it's almost instantaneous. So
Yeah,
how much faster, really?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Again, this is just breaking. Like this DeepSeek just came. It's been around for a while because this is like version 3 or something. But it's just that they put it on the App Store and it rolls to the App Store and it's free. And it's like, oh, you don't have to use the app. You can download because it's open source. You can download a model physically on your computer. It's not connected to, but Fran just told you they said they're going to that your data goes to a server over there. I
I'm
guess
like,
they're
no.
okay with it.
Remember, okay, so I was watching Waveform podcast, and this device, the RC something where you could talk, where the Apple messages can talk to the Android
Yes,
messages.
yes, that was a thing
Okay,
that everybody wants.
okay. But that one company that was doing it was putting it on servers that you had no access. It was sketchy. I was like, why would I do this?
Cause think about it. How do they get a system of Apple system which is closed to talk to Android system, which is kind of open because it's Android? How would
Mhm.
they get that to work? They have to have a intermediary server. It has to be.
Right. And Apple had to put something together that was going to protect
Yes, a
its privacy
firewall, a
policies.
conduit, peripheral. What I'm not sure of the terminology, but there's a protocol that Apple has put into place. That hey, you want this? Okay, you can get these messages, but you don't get access to you. You know, you come in through this gate of the castle, but you don't come into the whole castle. You come into this little section here and
And
do your
that's
thing
it.
and leave.
And I was like, okay. So with that in mind, like you just said, you don't get access to the entire house. I'm
You don't.
sorry.
Apple's not going to. Why would Apple do that? Even though
Apple,
this is something that their customers want, their users want, and Android want. Because how when I want to message Android and the little bubble is different. Why is that a thing? The bubbles have to be the same color.
and the main thing they were talking about is if you text a picture from Apple to Android, the resolution is not the same. We come Apple comes in, the resolution is crisp and clear or whatever. When it gets over there, it's blurry, and I can't help you for that.
That's because one is Apple and one is Android. They're two different operating systems. But Apple said, hey, this is what you guys want. We'll work on it. And this is what you get. So it's going to be a third intermediary server where the information has to go. And then Apple sends it to that server. And then Android grabs it on their end and brings it over and does the things that they need to do to make it look good to the Android people. I don't understand all of this talk about this, oh, the pictures are so much better. I really don't care. I'll take pictures on my iPhone. It looks great to me. What is the big deal? I don't understand it, but this is the things that they care about. Mark has a comment. Let's bring it up. Thank you, Mark.
An easier way to get out data now would be just to write a check to, well, but that is a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down
Yeah,
before noon.
I woke up this morning to some news, and there's things that drop. I'm like, the guy doesn't sleep, so he's up at 10 o'clock last night signing EOs about shutting and freezing and turning off the spigot of money to
So,
services that people need to survive. So,
yeah, we got issues with dude. Anyway, so normally when stock prices go down is when you buy them.
right. Yeah, somebody is benefiting from all of this controversy, this anarchy, this the turning over of the table in the marketplace. And here we are I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, it was bad enough when there were so many AI tools coming out, and then we talked about Friday that ChatGPT had something called Operator, where they had AI bots. Now they're going into bots that will do different things. So the rate of trends and technology turnover is dizzying to my mind. So I know it's dizzying to the average person who's not paying attention. And that's okay. I'm not saying you have to pay attention to every little thing that drops, because you have to live your life. And we're on a path now, technology wise and government wise, society wise, where we're going to wake up tomorrow and things, when did that fall down? Well, when did they wreck that store? Well, when did they throw a rock in the window and broke the window and people went in and stole this, that, and the other? It's not a good feeling. So this deep seek, if people want to, they're using it. Oh, it's free, let's run over there and get it.
See,
I'm like,
see, that whole free thing, it's free, and they said that it costs less, right? But it costs them less to do whatever they're doing, not necessarily costing less to the consumer. Whereas does it say in-app purchases on it?
I'm not sure, because again, I just started getting into it. People were talking about it, deep seek. I was like, well, what is that? So now I'm starting to get into it, and then I see that there was some Wall Street stock thing going on, because the technology sector is all up in arms now, because they had the lead and now they don't. So there's this back and forth. I don't know.
And okay, and just because something new comes on the market does not mean that you have to abandon what you have and jump over there. It's like, is ChatGPT working for you?
Yeah, I'm quite happy. Like I said, why the faster part? Do I really need a Ferrari? Like the beta trendy experimental model of Ferrari, when I have a Ferrari? I have the 20, whatever the last one that they manufactured. I'm driving and it's fast and I'm good. But oh no, you gotta have the experimental beta. It's like 100%, it's 50% faster. Why? The speed limit is 55. I'm not in the Autobahn. So
yeah,
I don't understand it.
I don't know if I don't know.
Excuse me. So I wanted to bring this up because I was like, this is like breaking like yesterday, and this much talk in so many areas. It's talking about in the government sector, there's talk in the technology sector, and there's talk in the financial sector. That to me, I was going ding ding ding. This disruptor, what's happening? We got to talk about it. So I don't know. I'm not going to download it on my phone. I just looked at it. I'm just going to see. And I haven't even gone to, like, I'll go to Threads or something now. I won't even go to X. Sometimes I will go to X just to hear the conversation. But I'll go to Threads and see what DeepSeek is real quick because I didn't even get a chance to it's so new. I don't even know if they're talking about it over there. Let me take a look real quick. So here's somebody saying Chat GPT is getting old. DeepSeek, did anyone start using it? Here's another one. DeepSeek R1 is taking the internet by storm, sending everyone into a frenzy. That's exactly what's happening.
Mhm.
Then this person is saying Chat GPT can't keep up. Check out these 9 mind-blowing examples. And I'm like, I don't need a faster Ferrari because the speed limit is 55.
And for the most part, people, what can I make with these items? Okay, really? Is that what we're using the AI for? Cooking?
So here's another one I'll investigate. It says if your immediate assumption is because it's created by Chinese team, it's obviously inferior fate. That's not called being skeptical. It's being called a racist. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm saying that I'm using my knowledge and my intuition, and I am happy with what I have. Why does that make me a racist? See, now we're going crazy here. So here's another one. DeepSeek development open source and equal a better product and have it out for free, likely killing the business model of OpenAI. They have an AI generated model of the CEO of OpenAI looking sad. He's not looking sad because ChatGPT is free. It's free. There's a free version. So I don't understand this conversation that's happening. It's like a it's a gotcha. They got it. They're gonna give it to OpenAI. What?
Mm-mm.
What?
OpenAI has nothing to worry about. They can just be
There's nothing to worry about.
OpenAI and okay.
Okay. So this is my like initial feeling about this, and again, people are free to download and use whatever they like, but be prepared for the consequences of whatever happens. And I'm also prepared for the consequences of what happens with OpenAI and Meta and Microsoft. I'm prepared for that, but I'm in a different boat if it's American owned company because of that little thing that we have called laws and checks and balances, which are kind of holding almost, but those, like Mark says, those can break too. But we'll see. We'll see which side, where do you want to be standing when it breaks?
Mhm.
So this is just one of the things that about the trends, and let me get back to my notes about the trends because we're going to investigate this, and we're definitely going to talk about it on Friday because there'll be more news. This is only Tuesday. There'll be more news by Friday.
Let me say this one last
Guys,
thing. If you always want something for free and do not want to invest in it, what do you think you're going to get? If you always are looking for the free, and I'm looking at the comments over here on the app in the app store, and it's free, and it's free, and it's free.
Well,
I was
Copilot
like,
is free. Copilot is free.
yeah,
Perplexity is
and
free.
Chat GPT is free.
Claude
But
AI is free.
what happens when you keep going for the free and you never pay for anything? You're not going to get anything worth having if you always are looking for the free.
You get what you pay for.
Mm.
So, uncharted waters. Okay, so the trend, one of the trends in was for 2025, as you see that it's going on, AI powered marketing. So because these models are coming in fast and furious, and things are developing, and it's like the movie Gremlins. That's what it feels like to me. Get them wet, and oh boy, Oh boy. So here's the notes about AI powered marketing. AI technology is transforming the digital landscape, digital marketing landscape by providing tools that enhance efficiency, personalization, and decision making. So we're going to leveraging AI will no longer be optional, but a necessity for businesses aiming to stay competitive. I agree with that. So we're using these tools and technologies to streamline and enhance various aspects of digital marketing.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, but that's okay. So we're doing that anyway. But okay.
Right. But what we're saying is that it's enabling businesses to work smarter, not harder. Now I've said that, but see, there's another part of this to where you get confused because there's so many models, there's so many things. Here's DeepSeek, here's this, here's that. Which one do you choose? And it's like I said, it's like that gremlin. They get wet, and then you got one, wake up, and there's 100. What happened? I went to sleep. What happened? All right, so there is some good to using the AI tools. You have to be responsible. We've said that before. Ever since the Chat GPT craze, I said you have to be responsible. You see, with this newest one, people are not being responsible, and we can't control that. In America, you can. Over other countries, they are controlling that. So here we are. So just a couple of things that it says that AI is driving the transformation. Efficiency boost. That means with content creation, email marketing, ad management, scheduling polls, generating ad copy, analyzing campaign performances. AI can look at your data, look at what you've done so far, and you can tell it, hey, make me a framework, a step-by-step, a format, or whatever for the next post. And it can do that based on what you have already posted. And a lot of these tools, you can, and I do this a lot. I started to do this. I'm getting lazy. I'll take a screenshot of something I see wherever, and I say, hey, use this and make blah, blah, blah. And it does it because remember, the root of AI is pattern recognition. The root of
Mhm.
that is the internet. The root of that is ones and zeros. That's how it can do the things. Oh, it's amazing. And it took us off balance when it first came out because it's like, wow, it can read minds. Wow, no, it's just pattern recognition. It's just simple math. It's just pattern recognition, and it can do it with text, and it can do it with photos.
So I'm gonna
Go
throw
ahead.
something in here. So if DeepSeek told its AI to create a code that similar to Open AI's Chat GPT
Mm-hmm.
and do and add
Right.
some more stuff, it could have done that too. So it was,
And that's could be a part of it because one of the things when ChatGPT first came out, a lot of the coders, engineers were using it to say they were using it as a coding platform of building blocks. Of instead
Mhm.
of building the house from ground up, they bought it's like getting a prefab house and just putting it up and what. So that's what AI can do. You could say, hey, here's a piece of code, build me a something, build
Yep.
me an app, build me a whatever. It does it. Pattern recognition because you gave it a piece of data.
And it said, okay, we're
And it
gonna
said,
do the da 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 da.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's pulling from data that's already out there.
yeah. What happened with text? It pulled from, and I said, remember, it's a library of books. It goes and gets Harry Potter and Stephen King and this and that. And you say, give me a la da 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 da, and it puts those together in the paint mixer. You know how you mix paint? Did that and spits it out. New color. That's what it does based on what has been written, what has been recorded, what has been said, what has been painted. You can go and get a piece of image, a graphic artwork based on Salvador Dali or whoever you put the name in
Yeah.
because it's recorded somewhere. That's how it works. It is not doing anything special. It is a paint mixer. Oh, I like that one. That one just came to me. It's a paint mixer. It just whatever ingredients you put in and mix it up and give you something new. Pattern recognition. And this is one of the things that you have to realize and remember. So, and really, I expect more deep seek whatever things to come up. So, how do we deal with it? All right. So before we get to that, let me give you a little bit more. So, AI powered marketing, personalization at scale, analyze vast amounts of customer data to predict preferences and behaviors. This allows businesses to deliver tailored messages, product recommendations, and offers that resonate with your target audience. It's improving customer experience and loyalty. Data driven decision making, because you can use it will give you analytics tools or taking analytics, providing real-time insights into customer behavior, campaign performance, and marketing trends. You can make more informed decisions because you have the tool that will take this data and spin it into reports or spin it into this, or you can ask it pretty much anything that you can think of to say, hey, tell me the trend of blah 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 blah. You do that with it. Excuse me. Enhance creativity. Generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Dolly can assist in brainstorming ideas, writing engaging copy, or creating visuals. This allows marketers to focus more on strategy and creativity while letting AI handle repetitive tasks. And I've said that before, that we are the spark. It
Yeah.
needs a creative piece in order to get to work. It can't, again, the ones and zeros, it can't just make it out of thin air. And it's not making it out of thin air. It's doing it on data that has existed since the Gutenberg press, or, however you want to go back, whatever's been recorded. If they put it into the model, it's there. So that's another thing about the lawsuits that's going on. I think the New York Times and a couple other companies and authors and writers, rightly so, artists suing OpenAI because, hey, you used my data, and some of these people want AI to stop, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to be how much money or royalties will they pay the author, the artist, the whoever, the original creator. I think that's what it's going to get down to. Okay, Mark has a comment.
Yes, he says it's fascinating. Many are consumed with worry, performative or otherwise, about immigrants illegally crossing the borders. The virtual border should be a greater concern.
See, thank you, Mark.
But we have lawmakers who don't know how to email.
Thank you, Mark. See, Mark, I love you. You bring up the points. See, this is what it is. A lot of it is, look over here while I do something over there while you're not looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the government is doing. Our current administration, that's what they're doing. Look over there. TikTok, blah, 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 beep, 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 beep. And while we over here, I'm freezing the money and turning off the money. I'm giving the money to my friends, or I'm whatever it is. And a part of this is that, okay, we're in this, I don't even know. We're on this boat in the middle of the ocean, and we're like, how did we get here? Well, if you go back, I say two words: Cambridge Analytica, 2016. Was it 2016? I think it's 2016. That was the origins and the beginnings of it being public, but it started way before that, where what were they doing? It had to do with that campaign at the time, the election at the time, and they were doing all these things with data and manipulating ads and posts and to make propaganda, misinformation, disinformation for you to see. And we were in a spot back then that if you saw it online, you believed it. Anybody remember that? It was like, oh, it's online, it must be true. And now we know better, but it's kind of like too late. We're already, in the middle of the ocean with this. I don't even know what to call it. It's just every day is something different being revealed. But while we're in the boat, we're going to try to row it out. Try to row a little bit towards how do we deal with this until the big picture is fixed by somebody. I don't know if somebody's coming. Like, is somebody coming to fix this? I don't know. All right.
That
So
means you have to arm yourself.
yes, that's a
Meaning,
part of it.
right, put armor on your stuff
Mm-hmm.
and make wise choices. Don't
Yes.
just click anything that comes down the pike.
Right,
And
because it looks good.
and secure your feed. The
Yeah.
FBI warning came out, said, about the scams that are out there. There are scams out there. And if they tell you act now, the ones that try to make you
Yes, because
do something. Yeah.
they're feeding on human behavior.
Yes. If they trying to get you emotionally to act now, or this is only one time offer, don't do it.
But that's like, I always tell you, do you just impulse buy a house? Do you impulse buy a car? Do you impulse buy an important piece of whatever, a machinery or whatever it is? No, you take the time, the facts, and you look back. And it's just unfortunate that we're in this area of misinformation, disinformation, and it's coming from your TV. Because there's media that's not reporting it correctly or hiding it or whatever. And we have to go out and see. That's why Substack is so big now. That's why newsletters, and I'm not saying that they're the authority, but I'm just saying that, like Fran was saying, you have to get the information and put the pieces together for yourself. And this is a part of that. Like, this is the information that I'm giving you. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and get the deep sea, go right ahead. Let me know what's going on with it.
Yeah, you don't want to be oblivious to stuff that's going on. Like, you just walking through life. And
yeah, you don't. Right. Because if you're looking up, you might walk off the cliff or in a pothole or whatever, a manhole covers off and you're in the sewer. You don't want that. So, and again, human behavior is difficult to look at these things because it's scary. It's scary to think about. We're all in this boat together and some people aren't paying attention.
Like, where are we going? Curating your feed. That TJ has been talking about that. There is so much misinformation.
And it's the curating your feed. I've seen a lot of pushback to that. Oh, you're putting your head in the sand. Oh, you're not paying attention. I pay attention. I decide what I give my attention to. Because like I know what's going on with this guy and what he did yesterday, but because I don't watch the news, but I get it because if I go to Threads, if I go to X, if I go to Facebook, wherever I'm going to go, somebody's talking about it, and then I hear about it. Just like the deep seek here. Here you go.
Sorry, yeah, because I saw deep sea come up on a news story or something yesterday. I wasn't watching the news. I'm passing by.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that
like, okay.
So I'm in my Discord, which is not a tech Discord that, talking about other things, but we talk about couple, news stuff. And they said, oh, the deep sea. I was like, what's that? And then, they said, I was like, I'll investigate that later. And now later doesn't give me a week. Later gives me a day. So it was like, we have to talk about what it is. And again, no one has the answers. We're in a space where the things that you rely on are being eroded. Things that we thought were laws are not laws. They were just gentlemen's agreement. And I'm saying gentlemen because, the founding fathers, back then it was all men. Everything was done on a handshake and gentleman's agreement. And we continued that way into 2025. We've got a chaos agent that says, hey, I'm going to come in here and turn over the chairs and kick over the table and you guys stop me. So now we're in a spot where everything has to go through the court. So it's not a good feeling, but it is where we are. And it's
necessary. And maybe we need to go back to school and take government. What is it?
I have this in the last few months. I have read so much on the Constitution, and I was like, oh my God, the things I thought was wrote because we just did them because they were wrote. They weren't lawfully, legally. This is how you do it. And this is the person that came in because when he came in the first time, I'm not showing you my financials. What? Isn't that against the law? There is no law. He doesn't have to show his financial statements. He doesn't have to show his health records. And he's never had. Why? Because those aren't laws. Those were things that were gentlemen agreement. We're going to act in a civilized manner. Every president that comes in abides by the rules, sure, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to because there was no law.
This
So,
is like when the British were fighting the people when the country first started. Don't
mhm.
shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. I was like, them people was not waiting until they saw the whites of nothing. There was like you said, a gentleman's agreement in war. I was like, until there wasn't one.
Right. And now, see, we do have some laws like the Geneva. I'm not, we don't want to make this political or government, but there's Geneva Convention, there's laws, there's NATO, there's things internationally done. There are some laws, but I'm saying with what he's doing, and people are waking up today going, you can't do that. Yes, he can. Now, there is a law on the books that says that he can't, but they're trying to challenge that. And where does the challenge go? Supreme Court. So we're not there yet. So
It's just interesting. That is why we are telling you you need to be aware of what's happening and
mhm,
don't be panicking.
mhm.
Read and make sound decisions after you've investigated the information,
Yes.
which is what TJ does here on every Tuesday, is bring
Yeah.
you this information for you to make sound decisions.
Right. And that's why I was like, we need to talk about this because one of the trends was AI powered marketing. And I'm like, well, there's some AI disruption going on.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. And there'll be more. Don't think this is the last stop. Like, oh, DeepSeek is it. There'll be other things because that's
And
the
it's
nature of how this industry technology works. It's
it,
the
and it
think of
seems
gremlins.
it seems like the okey doke. Just like you said, this is like the sleight of hand that the magician is doing. I'm like, all of a sudden,
How'd you do that?
this deep seek is up, and everybody's over here looking at the deep seek, but
Looking
not
at
paying
TikTok,
attention.
looking at, we've been consumed with things, an election, things have slipped by. Combine
And
that.
people and see, this is all of the thing is smoke and mirrors with, oh, he's doing this and now he's doing this and now he's doing this to get you to look away at some
Mhm.
other stuff that is happening.
Right.
Mm.
So, this has been an eye-opening experience for a lot of people who have forgotten, like I said, forgotten about the Constitution, forgotten about how the government works, the three branches of government, blah blah blah. You can't do this, you can't do that, because we've been doing things by rote, gentlemen agreement. So now things are not there.
Mm.
So now we have to shore up the fence has holes in it. Now we
Fix the fence.
gotta fix the fence and all of that stuff. So yeah, so I wanted to bring this up because DeepSeek was one of those things that you might have heard on the news today. If you haven't, you're definitely going to hear about it the rest of the week because it
Until
is.
something else comes up that's going to supersede it.
Yeah, so this DeepSeek, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. If I do anything, it'll be sandbox, but I don't even know if I want to, because I know that all of these chat GPT, all of these AI things are based on one thing, pattern recognition. And if I like Copilot, and I've started to use Gemini a lot more. So it's just the flavor. Like, what flavor do you like? Do you like vanilla? Do you like chocolate? Do you like Rocky Road? Do you like that's pretty much where we are.
Mark said we'll fix the fence when we can, if any of it is left.
Yeah, let's keep that in mind. Thank you, Mark. With that, hopefully things can and will change. And we said that last week that he's not the ultimate authority.
Mm-mm. So hopefully you put a good congressperson or senator in place.
Yeah, this is where you're gonna have to look at your state legislation, your state government. This is where they're going to be tested, and we got to make sure you got your governor, your everybody that's in there locally. it's going to be a test. So
Mm-hmm.
let's hold on. And Mark says we'll fix the fence when we can, if there's any fence left. I love that. Thank you, Mark. And that's what I have for you today.
Thank you, TJ. Now you can hear more of TJ every Tuesday, same time, same channel. Um, Come back here. You can also reach out if you've got questions. She has answers. We'll get answers for you. Just go to terryjohnsononline.com/info. She is
Mm-hmm.
happy to help. You can find Terry Johnson online everywhere on the internet to tune in and get more details. You need a trusted source for information. You found it right here. Just
I
say
try.
it.
I
Because
try.
sometimes you need somebody who understands the landscape to be able to explain it in a way that we can all understand it. And that's
Right.
what PJ does.
Right.
Because,
And again, this deep seek and whatever else is coming, there's discord on both sides. You use it or not. It's I leave it up to you, but I'm going to present this and you decide. Like Fran says, you make your decision. So that's all we want. Make your decision, an informed decision.
yes,
Try to gather as many
we,
facts as you can.
we don't mind if you use it or
Yeah,
don't use
if
it.
you use it, let me know.
Yeah, see what it is. Because I'm looking at the reviews on
Hmm.
Apple on the App
On the App
Store,
Store.
and I'm like, okay, so there's technically nothing different than Chat GPT because oh,
What's
it
so
just
special
doesn't
about
fit
it?
it, and it's fast and it does. I'm like, okay, same thing as Copilot, Chat
But
GPT,
what's so special about it? It's like,
Gemini.
yeah,
I'm like, okay,
because it's
okay,
not,
so
because it's Chinese owned and that excites you. I don't know. I
because it's free and it's fast. Oh, it doesn't work well on the iPad. I wish it would do such and such. So there's some little things
That's
that,
what the one of the things in the App Store doesn't work well on the iPad.
yeah, it doesn't. I was like, really? Okay.
Because most of the apps on the App Store is designed for the iPhone. That's why.
Right. And so they want an iPad version.
There are some things that have been out for a long time that still don't have an iPad version.
Hmm. And there were just little nitpicky things
Little
about it
niggling
that
little
that
things
they
in there.
didn't like. But I'm more about the security, so I'm reading through the pages of, of
Me too.
privacy policy. I really not care too much about
Yeah,
whether it
thanks
works on
for
the
finding
iPad.
that about the data being on their server in their country.
Yeah,
So,
and so we need to be paying attention to those type of things,
hmm,
um,
yep.
especially if we know that the country is not necessarily out for our good. Not saying that they're trying to take us down, but
Yeah, there's with just real quick with China, there's always been like a not a friendly rivalry. It's just like that's our adversary, and they've been on that side of the fence, and we've been on this side of the fence, and we kept, I see you, no, I see you, no, I see you, and now we're getting into more of them trying to jump over the fence, or not even jumping over the fence, like sending a balloon over or a drone over because they don't have to because they can send this app over to do the things that they need. It's like I don't need to jump over the fence now. I could just put this app in the app store and you guys will go crazy for it.
hmm and that is what has
And
happened.
that's what's happened with TikTok, all the ByteDance stuff, Red Note, and now this, and there'll be more.
hmm
Be more.
And so just stay tuned for more.
Yeah,
Stay
there will
right
be more.
here. We thank you for being a part of the Bizchicks community. You can to get notices of things that we have updates and things. We don't spam. You probably will not hear a lot from us, but we will bring you timely information. So just to join, just text biz to 33777
Mm-hmm.
or go to bizchicks.net. And or one of the easy ways to stay connected is to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that as well. However you get connected, we are definitely here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And so until next time, thank you for tuning in. TJ will be back next week, and we will be on Friday talking tech and doing a social media wrap up of the week.
Yep.
Sure, we're going to have more to talk about then. So
Oh, yes. I feel more news coming out this week. We'll see.
it is going to be interesting. So stay tuned, and we will talk with you next time.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
wonderful rest of your week.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.